prepare yourselves to face the vortex year. Just for the vibes, I'll play this.
Look what I found! It's a vortex, look! Hey, Zach! You think Dad sucked down a stick?
I got one right here.
Oh, yeah! Oh, my goodness! Whoa! Whoa! Woo! You guys think he'll suck down a rock?
Come on, get a rock.
I got a rock! Oh, my gosh! Whoa! It sucked down that big old rock! Oh, yeah!
It's gonna be interesting living in 2025 very soon. Because the purge will be over by then. People have purged, okay? At least around me. And I have no actual ability to tell you how the world has actually changed in other areas. Around me, everything changed dramatically. The purge was happening. Alright? Purge didn't destroy things, but made life less bearable. I think it's the correct spelling. Who fucking cares anymore? Definitely noise. Definitely noise that sucks you in almost like a vortex. However, you punch it in the face and it disappears, you know? Even if it sucks you in, it's all you have to do is just punch, show anger, and destroy it. However, the next vortexes that suck you in, because they're so interesting as well to interact with, they're going to be a little bit more dangerous. This is probably something you might want to avoid. While I myself, I will try and, throw these assholes that have been purging into the vortexes. That should help. Now, I'm talking in very weird terms right now, but that's what the video is about, to clarify every single aspect of this. I can actually take pictures. Bam. I can do that if I really want to. Things have to change every single year. Every single year, a new drama that has never been done before has to happen. And right now, Europe is under attack by a drama. It used to be Russia. The moment Russia sent troops, drama was over. There's nothing else to do. It sent all those savages, basically, to fight against something. And Ukraine was just like a big country to attack. And it's just that's the level that Russia operates. It's very blatant terms. It's just Putin, as a leader, cannot actually reveal that shit because it would ruin his country. He would lose reputation instantly and would be kicked out because he revealed too much information, I feel like. But yeah, Russia is just a bunch of savages. They went through drama. They send their troops, seeing that, is going to be a good fight, for a long time. Just meat grinder. How fun is that? So might as well send prisoners, anyone who wants to go and fight, basically. Fucking, let's go. Anyone else can just flee and do whatever the fuck they want. That Russia just gives you the freedom to, attempt to level up a little bit. This is a key moment. Level up or level down. Getting sucked into the worst vortexes of all time means that you might be exiled to Siberia. The good old meme is back, my friends. I mean, the next meme should have been World War III or something, but it's like you can sort of see that world wars are not real. They're just not a thing. Like, you would call Russia attack on Ukraine a world war, but people actually now have enough information to not get sucked into that war. Except for one problem. Of course, Donald Trump can change the course of that war and all that shit. It's relevant, but at the same time, very interesting, I would say. Like, if he understands Putin, he understands that he can just grind those soldiers and just like boost Ukraine with soldiers or some bullshit like that because they're trying to do that. On the other side with North Korea, it's weird, bro. But I feel like they're weak enough to be defeated. The Russians, bro. As much as they hate, I'll tell them this, all right? If there's anyone from the East, yeah, watching, I mean, war is not the answer. You get nothing from it, unfortunately. Like, straight up brutal war with violence involved, like, I'm sorry, bro. I feel you're making a mistake. That's why you're in level 3. You know, Russia is level 3 difficulty of life. And it's a difficult life that you would want to escape and, like, level up. America's level 1 is the easiest life ever. You can even be trans and not be shot in the face instantly. That's kind of crazy to me. You know, you can be a clown and not be ridiculed too much, although you will still get bounced into drama because you have to do something. You know, you have to clown around. If you're a clown, you gotta clown around. That's who you are. It's based on your identity. Interesting. At level 2 in Europe, level 2, there's special rules. There's special things you have to do to survive. But it happens in America too. And even though you're in level 1 in America, in terms of lifestyle, you can get a pretty easy and happy life. The problem is a lot of people want that sort of life, and a lot of people are going to try and take that away from you and all that shit. So the vortex there is even stronger. The vortex into Europe, especially after Donald Trump election, people would want to flee into Europe. There's nowhere else to flee besides fucking Australia. And I call this Australia fucking maybe level 5. It's the new world's entirely. Just Australia is completely in a different dimension of Earth for me personally. That's the vibe. Like New Zealand, New Worlds. How about that? They're just different. That's just the vibe. I have not made enough investigation to confirm my beliefs, but every single time I do these investigations, I just confirm my beliefs. It just happens. Accidents, guys. Happy, logical accidents. Create a suspicion of some kind, create a narrative where you fit in the puzzle pieces, and it's just like it kind of fits automatically every single time. Just like I created 4 elements, and I attach these 4 elements with continents, one of which is missing. Africa, level 6. Difficulty. I mean, Antarctica would be level 7, so it kind of makes sense. Africa, bro. Shit. Yeah, there's levels of difficulty given, and there's actually 3 more difficulty levels, apparently. Antarctica would be level 7. Just madness. Just pure, just maximum. This is what it means to go into a vortex. It means to go down. Right now, Apocalypse only gives you the negative choices. You can only go down, technically. So I'm actually waiting a lot of Americans to just come to Europe. I wonder what's going to happen. I'm still waiting. I actually was waiting for a certain amount of time, but now it's actually quite brutally vivid of an expectation. Americans might come to Europe, and it's not good for them because it's level up, bro, in difficulty of life. The reason why they need a difficulty of life because they're bad people, and they need to teach themselves lessons. They need to understand how life works. I would love to level up, and I probably could, all the way to American level, bro. I might be missing a few things, I'm pretty honest about that, but I'm still working on it. But right now, there's no opportunities to level up. There's only opportunities to fall apart. You have a way to fall, and I do not recommend. The biggest reason why Europe is not your home is you fucking know that. You know that. There's different languages. There's different things to learn. You start from zero. Everything gets obliterated, bro. And you don't even know which nation is good for you. Which country is just gonna leave you, unharmed. And will take care of you and whatnot. Like, the landing pad of Europe is like, some of the nations are spikes, some of these are lava pools, some of these just like deep ocean blues. Some of them is just piles of trash. It's like, where you gonna land is gonna ruin your life in a different way. And some are technically good, and people technically just live a normal life there. But you're probably not gonna land there, unfortunately. So just one level up, and the next level would be 3. You would go to Russia, and that means China. It's level 4. Vortex would lead you there as well, if you're not careful enough. In China, you don't have an identity at all. You have to follow rules viciously, and it will drain your sanity, and you will realize how much sanity actually matters in life. All right? You will get a good life, you will have 0 sanity, and you will realize how insane it is. Like, I see videos about China of like just navigating China, commuting, so to speak, and they're making jokes about it, like, look, I don't even know which floor I am. I don't even know, like, look at this. I have to go through a subway thing. It's just like, it's a whole maze, bro, to navigate. It's not pathways. It's not just like a 2D map. It's a 3-dimensional fucking maze. China is fucking weird. And that's just one aspect. The other aspect is you can't fucking recognize people. It's just the hardest thing. You don't even bother recognizing people because they all look the same. And they all know that. It's just hard to admit because you don't have sanity to admit hardship things. So China is level 4, unfortunately. It's a lot harder than Russia, my friends. Is that place where you don't want to go because it just tells you, like, internet is banned there. The outside internet, the inside rules everything. And it's also probably predatory place, and who knows what they're hiding, basically. They don't want you there, basically. I'm sorry. It's crazy that Hearthstone as a game, can enter that market and shit. Level 4. So that's the bottom line. Otherwise, you're going to Australia, you're going to Africa, and the fucking Antarctica. The 3 A's based AAA game for sure. Vortex. I can lay down for you guys. America, Europe. Should be chasing the higher levels. India and Russia. All right. Australia, Africa, Antarctica. You would think like it's impossible to live in Antarctica, and that's the whole fucking point. Like, life is hard at some point. And I can't even fit all of this stuff in there. You know? China, we literally have to hide by accident. Happy little accident. Alright. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, now I'm a geopolitics master. I just realizing that the world looks like a little game map with various difficulties of life presented. Now, obviously, when you have a good life, you can potentially go back to higher levels and push yourself harder. Because, like, you can't just be like disowning China and deciding that it shouldn't exist anymore in your life. Like, it's completely useless. It cannot be possibly completely useless. A higher difficulty of life, as long as it doesn't break you, is a very nice challenge, or at least a tourist attraction. All right? But if you've never been in America and you never lived there, this is a good starting point. That's where you go. People are going to respect you just by default and be nice to you by default. It's just like the easiest life to start with. Me starting in Europe, I mean, it's survivable. You have to focus on a shelter. I figured you have to stop other people from doing bad things as much as possible, and shelter does that very well. So there's already rules, and very strict rules, that you have to learn over time. Otherwise, you will have a hard time surviving, bro. You're always gonna like lose just enough of resources to not be able to level up ever again. So that's the shit I'm fighting for right now. I'm trying to get myself ready. I'm trying to cloak myself as a YouTube CEO, take that title, see how it goes. But now, this is a vortex year. This is the year where shit is getting unstable. The vortexes are going to open and people will just start falling into lower levels. Even China is going to fall into what, Australia? They kind of like enhancing ties with Africa right now. And I haven't fully decided if Australia's worse or better than Africa. I haven't fully decided. It's a little weird though. The China's involvement in Africa. But I don't have enough information to bother myself with that. Let's bring back the meme. Where's my Siberian? Exile to Siberia meme. That's the shit I want. There's a lot of people in Europe right now who are just straight up evil. We need to increase their difficulty of life. That's just necessary. If you're evil and you have no compassion to other people who are also suffering just like you, and you're just gonna fucking do stupid shit, that, my friend, is your destination. The vortexes are gonna open up in all sorts of different ways to just slowly offer you an awful offer. All right, just terrible. Like, even Europe is going to start opening these little vortexes to suck in Americans. That's the most important thing, because they have so many countries, and such big brains that they can actually suck in a bunch of Americans, and Americans would start realizing, what the fuck did we just do, you know? Why are we here? What? Hello. And don't just think about, the main America, that we're also talking about Latin American too. Why not? Fucking suck in anything. Especially Spanish-speaking countries, it's pretty basic to me, it seems. Portuguese, Spanish. I like it. That's a good starting point. It's literally a port. So you can be English speaking, you go here, you get sucked in here, and then there's the Spain, right? And then there's the language of love, the France. So Europe is actually just ready with the jaws to suck in like a vacuum cleaner, just fucking ready, bro. And the deeper you go, it actually is going to get easier the deeper you go. If you stay here, you're fucking uh, done for. All right? You're done. Like, this is where the people are. In this region, they have the most people. It's the most populated region. And if you don't go deeper, I mean, it's going to be noisy and annoying, and you're going to be outsmarted in every single way. And it's a very vicious, battlefield of just being a human being. I don't recommend being these regions naturally. I feel almost comfortable with where I live. Like, Poland is upheld right now quite a bit in recent affairs. Although Nordic countries, they don't look good right now. But I would still say it's better than the rest. But even to me, it's a mystery of exactly what is the quality of life. The only thing that's not a mystery anymore is that we found the vortex. They're just literally prepared. All right, it's for the upper America, for the lower America, and for people who are weird. All right, anything in between. All right, not central. That would be weird, because there's just a bunch of islands to me. But France will definitely suck in someone. And Europe is definitely a tourist destination, especially for celebrities to flex Eiffel Towers. But yeah, it's fun to increase your difficulty of life sometimes. The next step is the good old meme. This happened in such recent times that, my country still suffers from the memories of this. But now I'm looking at it, so I'm just like, maybe we just threw away the evil people, actually. Who knows? All right? Maybe we exiled bad people. Or maybe we're going to increasingly do more of that, and tactically going to do that. Because, like, Russia is always opening their arms up like, hey, criminals, come to our country. We're just going to clean your slate. Because everyone's a criminal in Russia. That's your nature. That's how you survive there. You're technically a criminal. There's nothing you can do about that. Just keep up the good work. If you master money and human psychology, maybe you can survive there. Again, there's a certain level that you can achieve in life where you're not actually taking damage, you're taking advantage of the massive amounts of land, or special resources are just being better than everyone around you. You can take advantage of these things. Special rules that you can break to be able to get away of doing certain things, which sounds very dodgy and criminal, but maybe it's sort of acceptable, because you have put yourself at risk. So I hate to say it. Let's just say being a groomer American is ugly and nasty, because you should just be happy, with the life that you have. Being groomer Russian is like, that's the way of life. That's a very Russian thing. And then Chinese predator is the very normal thing in China, being a predator. Holy shit. I'm not gonna lie, like, you combine the mazes of China with predator behavior, and you're like, yup, that's what China is. You can get lost, and all of a sudden they just fucking make you disappear, and you will never reappear, and no one will ever care about you. Don't you worry about that. There's billions of more to replace you with in any category that you ever existed in. I'm scared, bro. of China, bro. Holy shit. That place. The maximum level. As much as I'm scared, but I have to. I have to make sure that I can be a good Chinese person one day. Even if it for a week. Survive in China 1 week. That would be so funny. Holy crap. The fact that people are doing it, like, alright, I'll tell you this thing. Doing something doesn't mean you did it. Alright? Just like building a chair. Because your chair can just break. You have to do that thing, which is like go into higher levels and not sacrifice anything or too much. And you have to gain something in return as well. You can't just like be a tourist and just walk around like a fucking ghost. You did nothing, alright? You just saw things up close, and right now internet can sort of mimic your presence and experience or transfer quite easily anyways. So give you the POV, which is now quite something. I mean, if you did the POV yourself, like that's something. You've delivered something to the internet. You have scooped the higher level experience. Because like getting indie experience of just like walking around, everyone selling you things, that's something hard to grasp, but it's there. Again, China's pretty interesting. Russia is getting more and more attention. And obviously, again, they're opening vortexes. But this is the best one. This is the best one. And I'm angry at so many people. So, like, this should just be open just for the sake of, you know, of how I feel. And the fact that there's a purge. A purge has accumulated. Purge is not going away. It has accumulated and potentially could create vortexes of destruction as well. People can get sucked into some kind of stupid event where people are doing stupid shit, but it's not gonna like spread anymore. We know that there's no trend that's gonna spread. Even there's a 4B movement right now. Now this might actually need context depending on whether it's died already or not by the time you're watching this video. But women are trying to damage themselves even more. Again, that's a vortex. That's probably something that will just suck you into Europe out of embarrassment, to be honest. Like, you're going to definitely become more unstable if you damage yourself and say to 50% of population, which is men, that you don't like them even more than before, because like, already men have been tossed around, and this is more of a clown fiesta in a way. Men have been tossed around movement. You have men in your movement. Yeah. Move men. I'm sorry, bro. You're definitely gonna move us into teargasm. They want to shave their heads. They want to pretend that abortion is the most beautiful thing that they have to have. I mean, it's so painful to hear these things. Some people want to make babies. How about that? So they grow faster. Because the moment you have someone by your side, like a partner, you share years, you share growth. You're not just growing by yourself anymore, you're growing with your partner. You're growing your relationship. And that's the shit that people want to have when they're making children. That's that one reason to have children. Like most people question, why have children? Why have children? Well, the answer is to grow a relationship with someone. All right? If you have trouble growing relationship with other people, then you can still have children and grow a relationship that way. All right? Life presents you with options. Right now, like, in order to have children, to begin with, you have to have a concept of a relationship at least. You have to have sexual activities. It's definitely a concept of relationship, and people toy with it, probably for manipulative reasons. And in order to take away that toy, abortions have to be illegal. And I think overall, most of the medical procedures have to be illegal for most smart people. All right, for smart people not supposed to go to hospitals. What the fuck you're doing here? Are you stupid or smart? All right. Hospitals are definitely not for smart people. I am sucked into the vortex of a hospital, and I have to treat it as just like a cool little thing that I get paid for. All right? I get paid for, so I don't even have to tell you much about it. But otherwise, yeah, smart people should be avoiding hospitals. In fact, in America, you are taught, viciously taught, to never go to a hospital because you get a fucking massive bill fucking knocking on your door, just slamming you with thousands of monies to be paid for some stupid injury. Holy shit, man. Taking risk in America, but you're told not to do that. Pretty much. I'm sorry. Insurance, bro? Nah. Save up money. That will help you. That will insure you for sure. Save up money, because like insurance, the only insurance you get is that you will lose money by insuring yourself. That's pretty nice. So there's certain rules, just even in America, that you have to follow because that's what smart people would do. All right? And smart people would not go into a fucking movement to hate men. Let's hate all men. We have decided. That definitely makes you look smart, right? No, it just disqualifies you, and it's a very, very, it's basically now a way to define a red flag. If you ever needed to know the definition of red flag, that's what it is. That's one of these things. Again, you got to look up all this information I'm doing, but maybe we transition right now to something more interesting. Vortex is just like, it gave me no sleep. Like, this is such a crazy concept to me. There's so much energy attached to it. And the vortex is often just like a fucking galaxy looking thing, isn't it? That's probably what it is. You know, the idea of galaxy, which is fake because I don't believe in space or anything. So to me, the idea of galaxy is a vortex. It's a vortex that you're trying to escape. You're trying to go to the furthest away point, away from getting into that black hole. Yeah, black hole. I think the pun is intended in this one. I think reality is pretty weird, and even though it's lying to you about space and all the fucking planets zooming around, because clearly that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what planet's zooming around, like, you shouldn't care about space, it has no impact in your life. But the storytelling of space, of just missing pieces, of pretending that certain things have huge gravity, you know, gravity on life, on perspective of life. It's just a tiny fucking, a human being in a tiny planet. And it changes your perspective, but it also adds more weight to other things like the sun, the moon. It changes things up a little bit. So I don't hate the solar system model. It just doesn't seem true because moon and sun are the same size, and I just can't get that shit out of my head. It's impossible to have. The odds are impossible for solar system to exist. The odds are impossible that the moon and the sun are the same size. That just makes no fucking sense to me. and can eclipse each other. How convenient that the vortex is always flat. Earth is not flat, but this vortex definitely is. Crazy how space wars. Anyways, that's the discussion of the galaxy-looking thing. So, yeah, the further you are away from vortex, the gravity would be greater of like your decisions made. Of everything you're doing, the gravity keeps pulling you down. If you're hating Trump right now and you're scared of Trump, you would be sucked into Europe. It's just the next natural thing. Otherwise, you can try Canada. You can try Mexico. I apologize if you do that. You know, those are trap countries. Seemingly, literally trap countries for fucking refugees to run to and realize that, well, life is way worse there, actually. That's the information that I'm getting. I mean, we know that Trump really hates Mexico. And that's why he built the wall. And Canada is just a vicious place that's getting incredibly expensive to live at. I don't know who can actually afford to be there, to breathe the Canadian air. The most logical, sensible thing to do is, in fact, go to Europe. That's the only thing that people will realize. They're going to go bounce up and down, until they just have to settle down somehow, you know? Right now, UK does not look appetizing because it just literally got purged to oblivion. I mean, to the highest of levels, to the government's level. Or literally the government seats just taken over by some fucking idiots, basically, that nobody likes. Fucking purged, bro. I mean, France has been purging itself for a very long time. They just extended that thing. They were ready to make havoc. And I have actually no idea if this country is doing anything at all. All right, if Spain is active, like, out of all the things, I don't know, like Switzerland wins Eurovision, Germany is just generally a big-ass country with a lot of shit happening. Spain, just, what is that place? You know? What is going on there? Only only certain people know. Or maybe it's just the curiosity that will suck them in. Whatever it might be, whatever are these like odd reasons to get sucked in, I mean, and to be compelled by, this is going to be very interesting to observe. So I declare, you know, just like I was collecting it. Purge levels. Now I'm looking for vortex levels to increase. Purge levels stop. Oh, Jesus Christ. Purge levels have increased to 280. I had to deal with my dad. I had to deal with my neighbors. At my personal level, we had to deal with Trump getting shot. I mean, you cannot fucking get more purge than that. Let's just shoot a candidate of the opposition because we don't fucking like him. But there's only two choices. You can't just shoot someone and eliminate one of the choices. That sounds pretty bad. You know? And that sounds, if you miss, he will win. So you're actually making a very risky move, which happily failed. I'm so glad. All right, just adds more flavor to the purge instead of, well, panic. I mean, it could have been so much worse. Like, the purge could have just unleashed in America because Trump got shot. Like, it's insane. We were on the brink of just civil war. That was how close it was. It's insane. So I'm glad it's looking fine now, and the purge is officially over, I declare, with my vision of how the world is turning. That the purge is over. The year of the purge is actually over. And this is as high as we're going to go, and we're probably going to go backwards. I'm not sure. All right? I'm not sure on that one. This one's a question mark. Going backwards means solving things, and I don't think we're there yet. All right? Vortex, the same like with Microsoft right now, Windows 11 don't seem appetizing, and there could be just like a solution of like, let's go to Apple. I am even getting sucked into the Apple Vortex. I'm gonna fucking put that in. Apple Vortex level 5. Apple has a very attractive product. A tiny computer. But like, it's scary at the same time of like, I don't associate Apple with good things. I associate Apple with the hardship of just dealing with their nonsense. But at the same time, I'm very compelled to goddamn buy that PC. A tiny PC like that. This sounds so mind blowing to me. And if it's like $600, bro, like, I want it. I just want the experience. I just want to be the dude who has it. You know, just flex. I just want to ask for opinions. This is fucking badass shit. You know, I want to have it. And not as a toy, but like an experience. For me, it's a vortex. Even if it's not a negative experience, but I would be losing money. And money is a big deal to have. So, $600, bro, on this one. Also, that would suck me into another vortex because I have a bank to deal with. There's another vortex to get even more money for myself, which you would think like, oh, that's a good thing. Well, I don't know. I am scared of vortexes, bro. Now it's a scary thing. Anytime you have to do a duty of any kind, anytime you're told a new place to go, a new thing to do, or just something accumulated in your life, that's a vortex now. That now belongs to this year. That's where your attention should be going towards, because again, things are now moving across levels and only downwards. The vortex of the world is going to be stronger than ever before. And all we have to do is like, just like European rule is to hold on to your shelter and appreciate your shelter and make sure you're safe in there and that you don't go outside of your shelter for too long. If you don't feel safe, you shouldn't be doing that. If you feel strong and safe, that's great. We can fucking go. But right now, even I'm surrounded by like fucking weirdos. Who knows what their intentions are. There is that one thing, bro. The magical word dating. Dating was never a fucking thing, but it could just become a thing. Dating a thing? I mean, think about that. Like, it was not a thing. Getting jobs was never a thing. That could be a vortex. All of a sudden, there could be fake opportunities that will start and gravitating you towards them. And you have to start slowly analyzing what's going on because it's a sudden change. You should not submit to sudden changes right now. Those are very dangerous. Unless you're buying a new cool item. All right, I will justify that Apple computer because it sounds so cool, man. It's worthy. You are worthy, competitor. If I can eliminate lag from my life, shit, man, I'll be a superhero. But yeah, if dating is a thing, not only you're gonna get sucked into a specific place, but you have to take the women somewhere else as well, and then somewhere else again, because dating keeps going. And then you get sucked into her home and deal with her family or friends or whatever. That's also it's dangerous because it's uncharted territory. You might just be the first one to ever do it in millions of years. And there's a lot of skeletons in the closet, so to speak. All right? I actually don't recommend being too hasty right now, because it's just that dangerous. And right now, even that looks like a vortex waiting to happen. Because on Tinder, I just found someone who's actually like into me, quotation marks. Because I challenged the women. It's interesting. It's like I bumped into something very interesting that would probably act as a vortex. Of someone being interested in me, I'm gonna be suspicious to that, because the whole life I just has been collecting trauma after trauma. And people's interest in me is probably because they just ran out of things to break. That's just what it is. That's my suspicion. All right? So basically, as you can tell, any big decision or life change is a vortex. And definitely would be a big life decision to just jump in there. You know that much, and it's just death. that little thing in real life, death. So it's death. That's what has been told, and I can't confirm that. As you can tell, I am living and breathing creature. I cannot confirm that this is what it is, but it looks like death. And it has been documented as death. Certain big life decisions gonna reset you back to zero. You're gonna live a new life, and that's not a good thing. All right? Because you don't get to carry over. It's not a roguelike experience where you carry over anything at all. Well, technically, you have to carry over experience. Yeah, it would be roguelike. You start off, you just have a few stats switched on and off. And you can go back to your previous life, potentially. Who knows? That's another thing. Very interesting. Wow, it's a stunning experience to just like see the future and to be prepared every single step. Like every year is going to be like this, because I know it's going to be election years, next 2 years. All right, 2026, 27. We're going to be electing people mostly who have survived and have not actually been sucked into a vortex. That's just going to be a very good indication of a person who's resilient to changes, because they're mostly are bad changes. They have been bad changes for a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to complain on TikTok, just like, I made a terrible decision and all that shit. I bet on it. For anytime someone on TikTok says, I made a terrible decision, you have to subscribe. Make a new account to subscribe. I don't care, bro. Or at least you have to watch 5 of my videos. Alright, let's make a deal. Make a deal. Someone says, I've made a bad decision. Watch 5 videos. That's the deal. Alright? Anyone says, it's gonna happen, bro. This new year, I hope you're ready for this new year. It's gonna be so cool. People making bad decisions. There's definitely a song, Bad Decisions, right? Oh, Benny Blanco, of course. Of course, the dude that's dating Selena right now. Crazy. That's definitely a bad decision, dude. Shredded to this guy. You know what? Obviously, China covers Japan and Korea, and we're having a concert, basically. Crazy. Like, it's crazy to know that K-pop vibes is just like survivors of sanity. The only place you can get sanity in is to become something. So go to Korea, become something, and then you have a chance in a decent life to level up, basically, to travel across the world. That's what it is. But another concept is concerts. Fucking cancers, bro. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. It's the worst. I'm almost willing to make a bullshit episode. 2025, we're gonna make a bullshit episode about concerts. 100%. Something's gonna be up. Alright? This is how fucking Israel war started. It was just a casual concert being invaded, being purged. No, it was not the year of the purge then. But it kind of looked like it, Yikes. And was it a bad decision for Elon Musk to buy Twitter? I don't think so. I think it was kind of sweet. Was it a bad decision to elect Trump? You can see how many decisions were sort of like already dodged. It wasn't in that frame time, but there's gonna be just a lot of bad decisions. Why though? Why? Because like the purge is over, and now people who haven't purged still have a chance to make decisions, to do something, and they can get sucked in. Because like other people will offer you some like bad experiences, bad trips. Will start offering to you. They have purged. They have done all the evils they could have fucking get away with. And right now, you will get an increasing more chance to get invited. So if you're an introvert, maybe. I'm not sure, extrovert. I'm not sure which person. It's probably extrovert more. You're invited into parties and shit like that. But basically, if you haven't participated in the purge, you might be more vulnerable and invited into places to just get more experience. It's like, why did you not do anything bad? It's going to be the vibe as no one's going to tell you straight up to do evil things. But they will definitely offer you. People who bored and didn't do anything, didn't get in trouble, they can still be convinced to get in trouble, unfortunately. I don't know if I have to explain concerts to you. It just doesn't seem right to me. It's quite interesting of like what kind of dirt I'll be able to dig out of the concerts. And I already, there's already a demographic of classmates that I have like partying around. So of course they're gonna get sucked into that shit. And how it's going to become a bad decision. Like, obviously my mind is going to exaggerate things quite a bit, but it did that with the purge. It doesn't want to exaggerate anymore. It actually wants to make it a mystery, and potentially things are going to get a lot worse than I imagine anymore. Because I can't possibly imagine what can be created as a vortex. What kind of parties can people create? What kind of lives they're gonna live after, like, they travel to a different location, they escape their country, or whatever. They think they escape their country. They think. Again, once the criminals are actually openly gonna move to Russia, there's just it's not even gonna be exiled to Siberia. Like, people are willingly gonna go there. That's just gonna be the place to go. Tourist attraction. Or criminal attraction. They're just going to go there on their own will. They're going to be educated to the point where they're just going to go on their own will. It's going to be a beautiful sight. I feel like. Bad decision anyways. The good decision is just to become a good person you know, change the way of your life instead of making your life miserable. Yeah, I knew Ariana had a song of bad decisions, so I'm gonna click on that last. Just for the vibes right now, we're zooming out. It is very interesting, like, it's gonna be so convincing simply because criminal behavior in Europe is probably gonna look like noise and burning other people's time, causing drama, havoc, being a fucking nuisance, or being a terrible police officer, or just like throwing kids into the drama as well. Of like, but I have children, and that's having things. You should be more careful when you have things. How about that? It's your responsibility. It's just crazy, man. And I'm seeing this stuff unfolding, basically. But there's no real consequence. The consequence is the vortex opening up and putting pressure on the bad people. If they keep on doing bad things, they're going to get sucked in. Jail can be a vortex. It's the most active vortex of all time, but it has to still get a vibe, the correct way of enticing people not to do things. I mean, jail is supposed to be the anti-vortex, but it's still gonna potentially flip polarity, bruh.
Removed the entire hospital.
Mr. Beast. I don't think he has anything to do with this. Oh yeah, he could make bad decisions too. This is such a good song. It's so on point. I make bad decisions when I'm angry and depressed. It's just fucking awesome. And it's such a well-made music video. Wow. I'll just dump them into candidate list. Olivia Rodrigo like embodies the personality. Technically, Selena embodies the person, but Olivia is like the vibe we need potentially. See, she does not say bad decisions. It's like a more vortex name, where it's like, asking is like, is this a good idea? You're thinking about it. Even just thinking about it can be dangerous.
God, when I look at you, my boy tonight, it's a bad idea, right? Seeing you tonight, it's a bad idea. Yes, I know that he's my ex.
Yeah, that can happen. Run for president. Anyone can do it. Anyone can just go ahead and start running. People usually walk. So if you're running around, they will notice you. That's just how it works. Definitely trippy when a dude explodes. What the fuck is this? Alright, I guess it's that thing. So, running for president is your vortex, basically. You can make your own vortex. You can make your own events. You can run for something. For some kind of cause. And I already forgot what that is. To exile people to Siberia? Probably not. I'll probably rebuild the cause as best as I can. Chant it in my head or apply it as a vibe. That's what matters. Finding motivation to do your own thing and build your own shelter that way is pretty good. Just have things to do. Because right now, being bored is going to get even worse. Even if you haven't participated in the purge, you have been vibing with the purge, and you will actually reenact some of that shit by accident. You know? But because there's other vortexes open, You might get sucked into one of those that will trap you. They'll do bad things to you. Level down. One thing I didn't mention about this vacuum cleaner is that it has a little attachment. Iceland. The isolated island that you probably don't want to go to as a first destination towards Europe. All right? You might bump into the attachments, the jail system, the most vicious thing in Europe. Like this, just like Russia has Siberia, this is how it feels like to me. The European Siberia, fucking islands, completely detached from everyone else. Like, yes, we're detached by walls and borders and languages, but this is very unusual, even for Europe.
But it's one of the things I like. That hurt love, we got that. I don't give a why do you make me make bad decisions?
Yeah, if you ever wanted to stimulate a vortex, get a girlfriend. Don't become someone's boyfriend. Don't get sucked into their vortex. They have to respect you. This is how you know you're safe, at least. If they at least come to your place. Because if you're putting more effort, they have to at least respond with the jump to bridge the relationship. If they're not doing that, it's not worth it. It's still not worth it, bro. Because the real thing, if someone has a job, if someone has an offer, they should come to you and offer that thing. We're circle jerking around advertisement and ads everywhere. But if someone has a good offer to you, it should be presented quite, straightforward. This is why I'm scared of just business places, small businesses. I wish when I approach them and I grab the experience that they tell me all the good offers that they're passionate about, all the things that they want to sell for real, that they tell a story about themselves. I don't want to approach people if they can't do that properly. Yeah, no matter how crazy the apocalypse is going to be, I'm still going to be able to enjoy life almost just as much as if it wasn't apocalypse. Because apocalypse mostly, destroy bad people's lives. And you just get to be an actor in their movie of them getting destroyed. And the vortex is a consequence of doing the purge in the first place. See, the vortex is also termination here. Right? After the purge, you see who are the criminals, and you open the vortexes to catch them, basically. But vortexes can be different sizes, can be manipulative and deceptive and destructive, just like a serial killer can open a vortex and, start doing bad shit. Depending on their level of skill, even. But you definitely don't want to get sucked into that. It's tough. It's tough catching criminals in general. It's like, how do you do it? What vortex works? So you have to be very careful making decisions and not make the bad decisions. Because that's where it's at right now, baby. That's the year. And the end of this video. Yeah, making a few more X's on my list would be nice. Good timing, maybe. See you guys next time.